WPTV News Channel 5.
Breaking news first at 11 tonight, a mass shooting at an MLK Day event in Fort Pierce. It happened at the Ellis Park, located at Avenue M and 13th Street. People were seen running for cover as the sound of gunfire rang out. Now, 8 people were hit by bullets, and we're hearing one of them is listed in critical condition. We have team coverage. We begin with WPTV anchor Jay Cashmere. He's live at the scene with what we know so far. Jay?
Yeah, good evening, Tanya. On a very chilly night here in Fort Pierce, what was a day of celebration was abruptly interrupted with violence around 5:30 this evening, where, as you mentioned, gunfire rang out at Ellis Park right behind me here. You can see several law enforcement personnel still on the scene right now. It was a completely packed park. There was an MLK Day parade that had happened earlier in the day, and it ended, and then all of a sudden this big celebration was here. There were vendors here, there were food trucks here, and 1,000 people, and out of nowhere, someone entered the park and opened up a gunfire, and that's when everything went into a chaotic scene right now. I want to welcome in Cam Eppinger. Cam, you have a lot more information from law enforcement personnel on exactly what went down and what the scene looked like.
Yeah, Jay, what we can confirm at this hour is that 8 people were shot. One of them is in critical condition, and they all were taken to the hospital. And as you mentioned earlier, this all happened in broad daylight at around 5:30 here at Ellis Park. The sheriff deputy says this was at an MLK event right after the parade. We actually have some video producers. If we can go to that video that was sent in to us from a viewer, you can see 1 minute there's a large crowd that is gathering, and the next minute it's pure pandemonium, absolute chaos, as people are seen scrambling and running in every direction. Now, we also know, in addition to those 8 people, we do know that 4 others were also hurt trying to get away from the scene. Of those 4, we know that one of them was a juvenile. Now, as for a motive, the sheriff deputy, they tell us that this all stemmed from a disagreement between at least 2 people. Now, we do have some sound from Chief Deputy Brian Hester. Take a listen to what he had to say when his deputies arrived here on scene.
As our deputies were arriving and going to entering the scene, it was mass chaos there. There were people laying behind cars, laying behind anything they could lay behind. It was kind of hard to tell who was a victim and who was just hiding at that point.
Now, back out here live, what we can confirm as far as suspects, police don't have any suspects in custody, but we do know they believe that there was more than one shooter, and they are following up on multiple leads at this hour. But again, a very unfortunate situation here tonight, Jim.
Yeah, a terrible and unfortunate situation. Cam Eppinger with that updated information. We appreciate that, Cam. As Cam indicated, just mass chaos. And of course, you can imagine the scene here at 5:30 when 1,000 people were here, and all of a sudden gunshots rang out. There were a lot of families here, and a lot of those families and the victims were taken across town to Longwood Regional Medical Center. That's where we find Joel Lopez. He's standing by there with much more on that side of our story and the angles there and those families that are awaiting news of their loved ones. Joel.
That's right, Jay. We know at least one of those people that was hurt was brought here to Longwood, and many people that I spoke with are telling me that they're just in disbelief that this happened on a day like today, where MLK Day is a day really to just celebrate unity. So if you look behind me, you can see that there are some family members waiting outside just for any loved ones updates. Now, some people tell me they were at the parade, other ones are just here because of the victims. Now, I spoke with one man named Calvin Bethel who says his sister was shot twice, once in the leg and once in the abdomen, and this was while she was at the parade with her 6-year-old daughter.
All I'm hoping for is my sister gets better. And I'm hoping that the conversation I'm going to have with my niece after this is going to be impactful, because I just don't have the words for it. There's nothing you can tell a 6-year-old about her mom getting shot right in front of her. There's not a word you can use for that.
I did call the hospital, and they say that they're not in any sort of lockdown or anything like that, but for now, family says that one woman is in surgery, so they're just standing by for any updates. So, Jay, I want to toss it back to you on scene.
All right, Joel, thank you very much. A lot of concern across town at Longwood Regional Medical Center, where Joel is standing by there as well. A lot of those family members waiting word from their loved ones. There was such chaos that ensued. Chief Deputy Brian Hester talking about that candidly when this happened. People were just fleeing, trying to find cover as they can. One local pastor here actually was involved here. She was here at the celebration. She witnessed the entire scene as it unfolded. John Shaman caught up with her by phone earlier. Let's listen in.
I'm just shocked. I'm just really shocked because we had enjoyed an enjoyable day. We had an excellent parade today. It was so many participants, and we had a wonderful time.
And that's really a lot of the reaction that we're hearing tonight from those who were here. Just the fact that this was a day of celebration, a day of remembrance that ended in violence here tonight. From